Reality television has long thrived on spectacle, but few public figures understand the mechanics of headlines quite like Katie Price. Over the years, she has mastered the art of commanding attention, sometimes deliberately, sometimes inadvertently. This time, however, the frenzy that erupted around her personal life struck a more delicate chord: whispers of pregnancy. Sparked only weeks after her whirlwind romance and marriage to businessman Lee Andrews. For days, social media hummed with speculation, comment sections filled with theories. Fans dissected captions, tabloids sharpened their headlines. Had Katie, newlywed and freshly in love, already begun preparing for another chapter of motherhood? Now, the truth behind those breathless rumors has finally come into focus. A whirlwind romance, a sudden storm. The timeline alone was enough to set tongues wagging. Katie and Lee's relationship unfolded at remarkable speed, meeting, falling in love, and tying the knot within a matter of weeks. In the hyper-observed world of celebrity culture, such velocity rarely passes without scrutiny. Then came the post. In what many interpreted as a pointed message directed at Lee's former partner, Katie shared a fiery statement online. The tone was unapologetic, defiant. She declared herself married to the man you want and will never have again. But it was the next line that detonated the speculation. She wrote that she was having his child and looking forward to building an empire together. To seasoned observers of celebrity drama, it was vintage Katie, bold, theatrical, impossible to ignore. But to her millions of followers, the words read as a pregnancy announcement. Already? Some asked. Shock gave way to disbelief. Surely not so soon, others commented. The relationship itself was still new in the public eye. The marriage had barely settled into its headlines, yet here was language suggesting a baby was already on the way. The rumor mill accelerated within hours. Fuel to the fire. If the original post ignited the spark, Lee Andrews' own contribution poured gasoline on the flame. The businessman, who had reportedly met Katie in person only days before their wedding ceremony, shared an Instagram story showing the couple holding hands. The caption read, "Perfect couple soon to be a triple," followed by a pregnancy emoji. For followers already primed by Katie's earlier message, the implication felt unmistakable. Celebrity news accounts reposted the image. Screenshots circulated rapidly. Online forums filled with speculation about due dates, baby names, and what this would mean for Katie's ever-expanding family. In the age of social media, ambiguity is rarely granted patience. Suggestion quickly becomes assumption. And assumption, when shared enough times, hardens into perceived fact. Within a matter of days, the narrative had written itself. Katie Price was expecting again. Except she wasn't. The official clarification amid mounting excitement and mounting confusion. A spokesperson stepped forward with a clear statement: Katie Price is not pregnant. The confirmation, while straightforward, carried weight, because behind the theatrics of Instagram captions and emoji-laden posts lies a far more personal story, one that Katie has spoken about with raw candor in the past. For years, she has been open about her struggles with fertility. Her desire to have more children has never been a secret. Nor has the heartbreak she has endured in pursuit of that dream. A documented journey through IVF in 2020, Katie allowed cameras into one of the most vulnerable chapters of her life in the two-part documentary Katie Price, Making Babies. The series followed her as she underwent IVF treatment with a former partner, which aired on Channel 4. Viewers watched as she embarked on hormone stimulation therapy, daily injections, medical monitoring, and the emotional toll that accompanies each step of assisted conception. There was hope when one egg was successfully fertilized, but hope, in the fragile world of fertility treatment, does not guarantee outcome. The embryo did not result in a viable pregnancy. The cycle ultimately failed. Katie spoke openly about the disappointment, the physical strain, and the emotional crash that followed. For many viewers, it was one of the most human portrayals they had seen from a woman often reduced in headlines to controversy and chaos. The recent pregnancy rumors, therefore, touched on more than celebrity gossip. They brushed against years of longing, vulnerability, and public resilience. A mother already, a dream still alive. Katie Price is already a mother of 5. Her eldest son, Harvey Price, now 23, has long been at the center of her world. Born with complex medical needs, Harvey's journey has shaped much of Katie's advocacy and public narrative. She also shares children Junior Andre, 20, and Princess Andre, 18, who have grown up in the public eye. Completing the household are Jet Riviera Hyler, 12, and Bunny Hala, 11. Motherhood has been the through line of her life, even as relationships have come and gone. Headlines have flared and faded, and public opinion has shifted with the seasons, yet she has never hidden her desire to expand her family further. In interviews over the years, she has spoken about exploring alternative paths to motherhood, including additional IVF attempts or surrogacy. She has framed the dream not as an impulsive whim, but as an enduring hope. So when fans believed she might finally be pregnant again, the reaction was not merely gossip-driven, it was emotional. But for now, at least, the household remains as it is. The power, and peril, of social media suggestion. This episode serves as a case study in the velocity of modern rumor. A suggestive phrase, an emoji, a pointed caption. Within hours, an entire narrative formed. Was it a misunderstanding? A moment of hyperbole in the heat of online conflict? A calculated tease? Only Katie truly knows the intention behind the wording. What is clear is how swiftly digital suggestion can morph into tabloid certainty. For public figures like Katie Price, whose lives unfold partly by design and partly beyond their control. The line between performance and personal truth is constantly blurred. In this case, the truth is simple. There is no pregnancy, at least not yet. What comes next? If history is any guide, this will not be the final chapter in Katie Price's ever-evolving story. Her marriage to Lee Andrews is still in its infancy. Public fascination remains intense. And her desire for another child has not disappeared. She has left the door open, clearly and repeatedly, to the possibility of expanding her family in the future. Whether naturally, through IVF, or via surrogacy. But as of now, the empire building she referenced appears metaphorical rather than maternal. For fans hoping for baby news, patience will be required. For critics who questioned the timing and tone of the posts, clarification has arrived. And for Katie herself, the episode is yet another reminder that in the era of instant commentary, every word carries weight far beyond its original intent.